Calgary Flames free agency rumors are escalating as the team faces uncertainty on the back end. No one knows what the Flames decor is going to be looking like come October, but if a few dominoes fall, then one writer has come up with a signing that is pure genius that could excite a lot of fans. We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Now let's hop in and talk about this free agent here. And it's pretty interesting, but I really do like the thought of this. Am I saying it's going to happen? No, of course not. It's all just, summer shenanigans going on here, but we have a wonderful article here written by Rupert McDonald from the Hockey Writers. We take a look at a lot of his content, so all credit due to Mr. McDonald for this one. But he writes Flames news and rumors, Andersson, which we kind of went over in yesterday's video, Parekh, which we love talking about more than anything, and Grzelcyk. Yes, Grzelcyk, that's your free agent, spoiler alert. So in this week's edition of Calgary Flames News and Rumors, Andersson is denying that he told the Flames he was only willing to sign an extension with one team. I'm not going to go over that in this video. That was actually part of yesterday's video, so you can go watch that if you're interested in that. And I gotta say, I sometimes in the comments, I know that you guys have freedom of speech or whatever, but sometimes just keep it, at the hockey level. That's all we really need on this channel. Anyway, so meanwhile, prospect Zane Parekh gave his thoughts on what lies ahead for him this coming season. We'll get into that later. But in other news, Matt Grzelcyk remains on the free agent market and is a solid fit for the Flames in the eyes of many. There's your pure genius signing that could come in. So let's start with that. So, Grzelcyk still waiting on contract. Crazy that name's pronounced Grzelcyk. You wouldn't expect that spelled like that. But anyway, one of the most surprising players still waiting on the free agent market in hopes of a new contract is Grzelcyk. The 31-year-old had seemingly set himself up for a good payday following a career-high 40 points with the Pittsburgh Penguins this past season, though so far nobody is biting on the 5'10" blue liner. And putting up 40 points as a defenseman on a disappointing Penguins team was honestly quite impressive. Given how long he's waiting, one would assume that Grzelcyk will now be forced to sign a short-term deal. With the Flames looking to move Andersson, that's one of those dominoes, they could use another veteran on the back end, making him a seemingly good fit. And I would say seemingly great fit, arguably. Should he be willing to take a one-year deal worth, say, at around $4 million, it's a move the Flames should strongly consider, as he's a player that could be flipped at the deadline for help down the road. And as we know, the Flames have so much cap space that there's literally no harm in doing this. It depends, of course, what the decor is looking like. Will Andersson be around? Now, obviously, Andersson's a right-handy. Grzelcyk is on the left, but he could still come in. A lot of Flames fans want the team to sign a left-handed defenseman. Anyway, I know the decor is shaping up already, and we have young guys that are ready to pounce that some people would argue, why not just put the young guys in instead of signing free agents? But again, if, more than one domino falls here, this could really be a good move. Now, if we get into Grzelcyk's stats from his career so far, it's honestly not bad at all. He's been in the league for almost a decade now. Obviously was on that really good Bruins team that won the President's Trophy. Of course, he was on the team that went all the way to the Stanley Cup Final back in 2018-19. So, he's been around and he's got a decent amount of points for a guy who's not really known as, an offensive defenseman. And in 527 games in his career, he has 175 points. Not bad at all. The Flames could use, I guess, a little bit of offensive help, even though he's definitely more of a defensive guy. He's kind of, I guess, a jack of all trades when it comes down to it on the back end, but a very good player nonetheless. If we get into his facts here, so he's 31 years old, a veteran at this point. Not bad to have that on the back end right now. He is a lefty shot, though, which is the big difference from Andersson, of course. But again, not terrible to have around. He's from Charleston, Massachusetts. He's really been a Boston guy essentially his whole life till he went to the Penguins, of course. But now looking for another contract, I don't think it would be all that expensive either. I mean, you'd assume $4 million is kind of the highest a guy like this would go for, since he hasn't signed anywhere else either. But this really could be a really good signing for the Flames, especially if you sign him to a one-year deal and flip him at the deadline again for more. I think this is the type of guy that always gets dealt for at least a little bit at the deadline. So I don't hate this one at all. It really, when it comes down to it, could end up being pure genius if done in the right way by Craig Conroy and the Flames. But with people already asking for maybe another left-handed D-man, why not go for a bit of the Grizz? Now let's get into Parekh to the show. Zane, of course, talking about, the upcoming season and how he's, essentially destined to play for the Flames. I would be shocked if that's not the case. But Parekh is hopeful to crack the Flames roster. And why wouldn't he be? I mean, already in his NHL career, he averages a goal per game, which is just sensational for a defenseman. And just in that little taste in Game 82 against the Kings last year, he honestly looked so good. I was so excited. That was one of my favorite games to watch all year. But Flames fans are hopeful to see the 19-year-old Parekh on the team this coming season, and for good reason. A nice rhyme there. The defenseman, who was selected 9th overall in 2024, is viewed as one of the best prospects throughout the entire league. His stock has only raised further following a 33-goal, 107-point season with the Saginaw Spirit in the OHL. This is a man who was tying Bobby Orr records. That's how good he is. Parekh's only options this coming season are either to play in the NHL with the Flames or return to the OHL, where it seems he's accomplished everything he can. And he honestly has. Being essentially the best defenseman 2 years in a row is ridiculous. Putting up 100-point seasons 2 years in a row is ridiculous. But he should be given a long leash to prove he can play in the NHL. And based on a recent interview, he seems confident he can do just that. Let's get into his quote. He says, everyone knows that for me. I'm trying to play in the NHL, said Parekh. All my peers know that. I have a great support group, and everybody's pushing me every day, and I'm pretty hard on myself too. I'm going to keep working so that in the fall, it's pretty far away, but I've got to have a big camp. And he certainly does, and I don't see why he wouldn't. Of course, knock on wood, but he is just sensational. I think really that kind of, interview process or audition, I guess we can call it, in that Game 82 really showed that he can keep up, because that was an LA team that was playing their NHL lineup. It's not like they were playing nobodies, so he looked really, really good in that as well. So while the Flames have several great prospects in the fold right now, which is our biggest flex by far, Parekh is at the top of the list, indicating just how talented he is. The hope is that he can crack the Flames lineup this coming season, but regardless of how things play out, he's going to be a great NHLer for many years to come, and we certainly hope that's all in the Flames organization. But I personally have no doubt in my mind that he will be in the lineup for Game 1 of the season come October. Of course, that's hoping that there's no injuries or anything else, any off-ice issues or anything like that, but honestly, he's definitely destined for the show. That's how good he is, and we are so excited to watch him come October. Maybe he'll be paired up with Grizzlick of all people, but we'll just have to wait and see, of course. Now let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video, as we love to do here on the channel. Comes from yesterday's video, of course, and this one comes from Lloyd. Now, Lloyd said this Andersson situation is going to be another Hanifin trade. Conroy should have traded Andersson last season at the trade deadline. A few people like that comment, and it kind of seems like it's almost destined for that. Hanifin kind of forced his way out, said he doesn't want to play here, and I only want to play for this team, pretty much. And then, of course, he went to one of those destinations, and it almost seems like the Andersson situation is going to be kind of the same. Who knows? It's a lot of he say, she say right now, but I would honestly just rather get a deal done sooner than later, whether it's trade or signing, preferably trade. But, of course, again, we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.